Okay, Mr. Amaju Pinnick, it's good to have you here with us.
Always a pleasure.
So let's talk about the COVID-19 relief fund distribution. Was it a fair distribution process?
Yeah, it was. I went through a very, very thorough process. That's why we didn't come out since. We waited. In fact, after FIFA announced, there was a follow-up meeting with the president of FIFA and the development team, including the president of CAF. They met with most MA presidents. And they informed us of what they wanted to do and when the money would come, XYZ. So we waited. Then, of course, our audit committee, finance committee, had to put this together, and we had to look at it. The strategic committee, you can see clearly that it was not what anybody would just sit down and even after we had finished everything, I personally had to send it to FIFA to get their final buy on it. Emphasizing that 1.5 million of the 2 million is theirs, coming from FIFA. And they should look at it if they believe all the critical stakeholders were captured. And they came back hailing us that this was very, very quite commendable. After we got the message from FIFA, we sent it to the ministry for their own input. And after we got that, then we brought it to the executive committee, which was statutory for us to have it approved because it's beyond my limit. So the ESCO looked at it, we debated to one or two, and eventually gave an approval. Now see, we have received the money. We've not received practically all the funds that we're expecting. The one from CAF by tomorrow or latest Monday, 300,000. FIFA, we're expecting $1 million from FIFA now. And then 500,000 in January. The one from our sponsors are here already. So now then the distribution starts. And when we distribute, we're not just going to distribute because we believe the system must be very thorough. So we're also talking to PwC, our auditors, our external auditors, to see how we can outsource the distributing of these funds to them. Because it's not just distributing. They will distribute and track. For example, if they are giving XYZ money, what is the money? What's the purpose for this money? And they are our auditors, and it's also easy for them if they want to carry out their audit for next year. They will know that. So we are talking to them. So they are very busy right now. But they say they will come back to me by the close of today. But I pray that we do not have to do it ourselves, But if we need to do it ourselves, we have a very competent director of finance and a very competent finance team that will do it. But then it's basic. Our account is in domicile in CBN, and the money goes out from there straight and hits the account of all the beneficiaries. And we are not taking out a dime as cash out of it. It goes straight to the account of each beneficiary.
All right, fair enough.
Yes.
He's explained some of those issues. He's talked about. He's laid it out, and you can't really fault the process. That's I'm yet to see somebody who say, "Oh, this one was not included. That one was."
Everyone, even the mascot, those children that escort players out, and even the
only thing you can argue
club.
about maybe proportions, percentages,
Okay,
maybe that.
But that's what they had.
Even that is even debatable.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying he's explained it. I guess the issues should be laid to rest at least for now. So what is left is implementation.
Okay.
But the process up until this point, in spite of the fact I don't agree with many things that I hear about, but this one is fair enough and thorough.
Okay, it's fair enough, yeah. Okay, and also thorough. All right, let's also listen to another part. Austin Okonakman needed to ask him this question. I mean, the last time he had Instagram Live, he talked about the fact that they want to appoint a new Falcons coach, and this has been going on for a long time, and he said, okay, 2 weeks. I mean, that's almost a month now. We're still trying to get, and the last meeting they had, they said, okay, they've talked with the consulting firm that's supposed to, give the names to the Nigerian Football Federation for them to appoint a coach. And of course, they said they're still in the works. But what happens? Why did it take so long, for them to really appoint a coach for the Super Falcons? Here's this explanation.
In your last Instagram live chat with the NFF, you assured, that's about 4 weeks ago, you assured that the Super Falcons will get a new coach. Mr. Pinnick, are you no longer a man of your words? Because we've not seen a new coach appointed for the team.
Well, we thought then PwC, they were meant to conduct the interview for but the last minute they decided that they were too busy. So let us get, so we had to, that period I was quite disappointed. And I think that was a day thereafter, after that I made that comment, because they were already at the verge, I can show it to you here, at the verge of calling, say, okay, what we even agreed that, let them do a visual interview. You know, we've sent them everything they needed to do, but last minute they just decided that, listen, let us concentrate on doing your audit. Let's allow some other company do this, you know, because we had not signed the contract, which was quite regrettable. So we said, okay, so we have to source and we have to go through the process of procurement, you know. Now, what have we decided to do? We said, okay, which one are the very urgent one? The technical director. As far as the technical director, the executive committee have met and said, okay, we are going to come out with the technical director within the next few days. And they mandated the technical committee to work in tandem with our integrity office in ensuring that the proposed 3 names, which the executive committee would say yes, they picked one. That was one. Then 2, we've also decided that for the junior national team, just to save cost, because the bill, this is the #1 human resources consultative firm in Nigeria. You can guess. It's #1 in this country. Are the ones with the people who are engaged now. The bill they brought for, if they were to do all, would have been spending over 100 million. So when I said no, let us save that money for football. For the chief compliance officer, which is very key, we need a chief compliance officer. For the head of female football, which is quite sensitive, the Super Falcons coach and the chief commercial officer will be handled by Philips Consulting. Those 4 will be handled by. So now we're in the process of signing the contract with them, which can happen by Monday, Tuesday. Once we sign the contract with them, they have a retinue of resumes, a lot of resumes already with them. So they will now start going through them, because you see, their job is very thorough. It's not just, oh, come, why do you want to be? No. They do an integrity check on you. They look at your background. They look at everything before they start taking out some people and bringing. But it will be interesting to know that so many world-class coaches have applied to be coach of the Super Falcons.
So we're just going to ask you in clear terms to assure us once again when the Super Falcons will get a coach this time around.
Before the end of this month, by God's grace. That I can assure you, before the end of this month. Take my word this time around. I'll make sure I follow it up myself.
All right, we're going to take his words this time around. He says before the end of the month, the Super Falcons will get a new coach. So we'll believe in him this time around. He says, take my words for it, before the end of the month. So by August 31st, we should be announcing that the Super Falcons finally have a new coach. Remember the last coach left August, last year before they played the final, game against Cote d'Ivoire, the second leg right here in Lagos, where they needed a win, but then ended in a draw and they couldn't qualify for the Olympics. That's after the former coach just walk away. I mean, so it tells you a whole lot of story about Nigeria Football Federation and also the Super Falcons. Where the drama continues, we'll just wait to see when the Super Falcons will finally have a coach. After this timeout, we'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League.